You fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But Ian, this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you?
Shut the fuck up, okay? Shut the fuck up!
Welcome to Rod Uncensored Show, man. I got a special guest, Chad. How you pronounce your last name, man?
It's Beadle, man. Beadle. Like Beetlejuice.
Beadle. Chad Beadle in here, man. I like to give everybody respect, man. So I like to make sure I pronounce people's names right. You know what I mean? But how you doing today, sir?
I'm excellent, man. Excellent, man. Just enjoying this 80-degree weather today.
Damn, 80 degrees, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm in a small spot called Delaware. I don't know if you ever been through here.
Yeah, I've been to Delaware once. Nose House there just once.
It's not 70 degrees here, but it's close to it. It's close to your temperature, man. Who is Chad Beadle, man? To let the people know, who are you and how long have you been doing comedy for, man?
All right, well, basically, my name's Chad Beadle. As you can see, I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yeah, there's some brothers out there. I've been doing comedy for about 25, 30 years. Been on some TV networks. Studied under some of the greats that's out now that you see on TV now, and just 53 years old and still doing my things. Doing most likely promoting shows as well as doing stand-up.
Okay, man. So, man, what got you into this great art called comedy? What got you into doing comedy, man? 20 plus years ago.
Well, man, what got me back to doing comedy was like, people used to pick on you. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to all white school. I was like only black kid in the school. So, you used to get picked on and all that, just, so after a while. And then when the inner city kids came in, they already figured I was a suburb kid. So I got picked on too again. So me, instead of fighting people all the time, I decided to use that as fuel to start creating jokes and to start doing stories. So instead of getting hurt about what people saying about it, just making fun about it. So then that way it takes all their power away from them, because then whatever joke they say is not funny because you already destroyed it.
So pretty much people was doing the dozens to you
in
school and getting on you.
Yeah.
So what was your go-to, man? What was your finishing move, man, in the dozens? Everybody got a finishing move.
What would my finishing move be back then, or what is it now?
No, I'm saying during the dozens when you was in school, man. Trash talking.
I remember. I used to get suspended for all the time. I'd say, can somebody put something in his mouth because my zipper stuck?
God almighty.
And I spent a lot of time in the principal's office for that joke. And I got a lot of notes pinned on the back of my jacket, so I couldn't get them so my mother could look at them.
God damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? I didn't want to go hard, but ever since then, that was just my fuel. So anytime somebody would say something crazy or off the wall, I would just bam.
God damn, how my zipper jam.
Or people would ask me, they'd ask me, "Oh man, tell me a joke," and I'd just be like, "Give me some money," and they would laugh, and there goes your joke.
So you're like the second person I talked to from Wisconsin. I met somebody that did comedy in Madison.
Antoine?
So, man, no, his name is Corey. I think his name was Corey Lewis or something like that. Black brother. I forgot I think that was his name.
I know Antoine McBride out that way that does a lot of comedy shows.
Yeah, man. But man, how is the comedy scenes? We can start from the beginning for Wisconsin into now, the comedy scene.
Well, comedy scene now, man, is totally different than what it was back in the days. Back in the days, it was more unity. You know what I mean? It was, it was just a bunch of brothers trying to get out and work and try to show their platform and to try to find any place they could go to do stand up, because it wasn't really that many rooms for urban people.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And then when you wanted to work the other rooms, the non-urban rooms, they had a set standard. You know what I mean? You couldn't cuss. You had to look a certain way. You had to have an image. So it was just a lot. It's a lot different now. Now it's just all about whatever. If you can get on TikTok and get a bunch of views, and all of a sudden you're a comedian. You know what I mean? Now everybody's following without actually putting in the work.
So you have a problem with
No,
the
I
social
had
media?
no problem. No, don't get me wrong. I have no problem. Hey, if you can get it that way, that's how you get it. But just some of our oldest guys is like, wow, man, we paid our dues. Like, we some of us still paying our dues. You know what I mean? Still working hard to get there. And other people just come in and just bam.
So how was the like you said it was hard. You had to pay your dues. So what were um some things clubs used to keep people out of? You said the image. You said the foul language. So you had to pretty much do like a Bill Cosby set
Yeah, pretty much,
of
because they
clean.
had back then in Wisconsin they had these comedy schools. This
Hmm.
lady named Roz Turner, she did all the booking, and you had to go to her class to get recognized, or you go to open mic and you work out in open mics, and then hopefully you would get recognized, or you would take her class. That'd be the only way you would get a comedy gig through her, is that take her class.
Damn. So she was pretty much she was kind of extorting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then one time I was doing all these other rooms, and a brother named D Rock from Milwaukee. Shout out to my boy D Rock, doing your thing, man. He's on Tubi. You can check him out. He says, "Hey, man, you busting your butt trying to do these other rooms. Why don't you come down here with us? Come show us." And I got to do my own rooms where I got to be free and I got to say what I wanted to say.
Hmm.
And then I ended up start working with comedians and things because comedians from Chicago would come to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee cats from Chicago. Well, a lot of Milwaukee cats didn't get a chance to go work in Chicago because some cats didn't really, if you didn't click right or your stuff wasn't good, then they really didn't want to fool with you. Like I got a chance to work with D. Ray Davis and B. Cole and J. Deep and Tony Schofield, Leon Rogers. Um, a bunch of other cats, man, that's doing their thing. Lil Rel, Wildcat. I could go on and on and on. Bernie, I could go on and on and on.
So man, so you said you got it in there because people was, what I mean, doing the dozens and stuff like that, man. How long did it take you to get booked? What was your techniques to get booked back in the day and still?
Well, my technique now is just you pretty much gotta go market yourself, man. Like you gotta go out there and market yourself. You gotta let people know who you are, and you gotta get the word out. You gotta get the word out. And try to get as many mics as you possibly can, or you if you already have a fan base, just keep building your fan base.
Mm. So what year was you what year in your career did you start getting the road, the chances to go get on the road? What year was that for you?
Well, once I left Milwaukee back in 2000, that's when
Mm-hmm.
my journey really started. To doing the road really started. When I left home, because I was on
Mm-hmm.
the road. I went to South Bend, Indiana, worked out there. I went to Elkhart in Indiana. I went to a bunch of places in Indiana. Then I went down to Philly. Then I was down in DC. Bunch of different places, and now I'm in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Oh, so you ain't too far from me, man.
No, man, I'm still here, and I run a company called the Make Me Laugh Comedy Tour.
Okay. So what was the idea of running that, man?
Well, the idea was that when I first came here, back in early 2004 or five, there was a guy that was running a comedy room, and I was just trying to tell him, he's doing open mic. He really wasn't that funny, but I was just trying
Come
to tell
on,
him.
man. Come on, man.
No, he wasn't. Man, this dude was terrible. Now, when I mean terrible, now you'd be like, man, this guy's terrible. Like he would be looking up in the sky, like I see my dead grandma. He's like, huh? And now you looking like, dang, you looking for a dead grandma in the sky. You looking now, you look goofy. And I was
Oh
like, this dude was
man.
not funny. So I was just trying to give him some pointers, how to get people in, how to do so. I said, you know what? I could do this on my own. So I created this program book. And I only charged people $40 and I gave them like 8 tickets just to fill up the spot. And the show I did was, I remember it to this day, it was June 10th, 2006. And that day here in Hagerstown at the Antietam Battlefield, which is in Sharpsburg, they were having a Klan rally.
Damn.
So I decided to take upon myself and said, you know what? Let's put a whole bunch of people together. While they're trying to be ignorant, let's put a whole bunch of people together. And that's what I decided to do.
Mm.
So that day we had about maybe 300-400 people there. And everybody had a good time. And it was just, yeah, man. Ever since then, the Make Me Laugh comedy tour has been on tour. And we travel different, locations and stuff like that.
That's a great idea, man. So what are the pros and cons of running a tour, and doing that?
Man, the
Being like
pros is getting the right team together, getting the right comedians together. You know what I mean? So that way every comedian can work, but one don't have to act like he has to shine over the other. It makes sense.
Makes
Because
total sense.
there's some guys that get intimidated by certain guys. Like you could be really funny, but then all of a sudden here comes a guy that you never worked for and you heard he was super funny, and you may get all spooked like, oh, your material may not work what normally works.
That's true, man. Speaking of that, man, since you say you've been in the DMV a long time, man, did you? My first show I did, man, was at the Tacoma Station Tavern. Have you ever did it? Have you ever
No,
did some work in there?
no. I never honestly, since I've been on this area, I never really worked the DC area. I never really
Okay.
did. I always just
Okay.
created my own lane out in this way,
Okay.
Frederick, Hagerstown, in West Virginia, stuff like that, Pennsylvania, things like that. I always created my own lane.
Oh,
So I
that's
didn't really
great.
work the DC area because I didn't feel like driving all the way down that way.
Hey, you're right. That's great, man, that you was able to do that, man. Because it's a lot of I'm a baby still, man. I only got a year in, but
Well, let's get
I
you out here. Let's get you out here, man. Let's get you out here on the tour, man. Our next date, I'm thinking, looking at not March, I'm sorry, May 23rd. So if you're available, man, let's get you out here, man. Let's get your feet wet. Because people at our shows, they come to laugh. They know what they're coming for. They know they're coming for a comedy show. They know they're not coming to see is Johnny here or who's here. They're coming for a laugh. They come have a good time. And that's the whole thing we just is give them a good time. Make them feel
man.
welcome.
But man, so even for you, man, you do a lot of you do your own show running and stuff like that, man. Early on, was it a lot of clicks back in the day?
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of clicks. It still clicks. Comedy is still clicks. It's like, like you say you work the DC area. At the time, there's clicks. There's certain groups that, hey, if you're not cool with that group, you're not really going to get a chance to work in the rooms. I don't know if you've seen any of that yet or anything like that.
I in Delaware I have. In
Yeah, or
Delaware,
you might
Maryland.
get bumped. You might get bumped. Oh, you drove all the way down here to be on the show, and then you get there. Oh man, nobody has an idea that you on the show, and oh man, I was gonna put you on, but now I can't. And
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. Oh man, so
and you brought a bunch of people to come see you, and they came to pay their money to come see you, and next thing you know, you're not performing.
yeah, that shit wow.
You know what I mean? That makes you look crazy. Makes you look like, oh, people like, well, what's going on? So now you may not even get them to come to another show.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. But I like I told somebody, man, I enjoy the process of writing and making other people laugh, man. I feel
That's
like
it.
that is
That's it. That's it. Because no one knows your jokes but you. So
Exactly.
what you write on that paper is that's your vision. That's your material. That's your world. So as you creating that world to someone else, no one can tell you if it's foul or not.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm
So
saying? Because that's your world. And if you get 95% of the battle for me is if you get most of them listening while you're doing your show and they're laughing and they're not getting up going to the bathroom or not getting up going to smoke cigarettes or not going to the bar. You know what I mean? You got half of the battle done there.
So, man, where do you get your material still from? Your real life or your?
My real life things that happen while I'm driving, things just pops in my head, studying the audience because it was funny because one time I went to New York one time. I wrote all these jokes that normally works anywhere else. Went to New York, man, and boo, boo, boo. That was the worst
Damn.
feeling. Getting booed like boo. It was like boo. I didn't care what you said. I even tried to try my little kung fu joke. That didn't even work. They even got booed. Boo. Like dang, terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible. So now I know, like, when you go to other areas, study your audience. Know your audience a little bit. Know what they're listening, know what they like. Just the music that they're playing in the club before even show starts. While people eating, just look around and just feel the vibe, and then you go back to your mindset saying, "Hey, no one knows if this stuff's playing or not but you." So go on with your material. That's it. That's what I
Yeah,
advise people to do.
and that's really important what you just said, man. But I see it firsthand, man. I know you're a promoter, man, and a showrunner and a event coordinator. What's your thoughts about headliners or just people overall taking notes for a show on there on the stage or using a phone on the stage? What's your thoughts about that?
Wow, back in the day, a lot of comedians, nowadays, comedians they're not afraid to use their phone and look at their jokes. That's a lot of open mic work. But I remember back in the day, like George Carlin, like if he didn't know his set, he would tape all his stuff on the floor. So as he walked back and forth, he could look on the floor and say, "Okay, all right, I can do these set of jokes. I can do these set of jokes. This is not working. This is not working." You know what I mean? He kind of like hit it. Now there, some people will put their jokes on a stool and let them sit there where the water goes. But I think well, when you do using your phone, you're not really, I don't know if you're really telling me those jokes or not, or you just reading something off your phone. So I think
Mm.
it takes away from you.
Yeah, I know. What I mean, I believe that too, man. I believe it's like telling jokes and being a comedian is like being a wizard or you know what I mean, or a magician. You know what I mean? If I
Mhm.
show you the string that I'm trying to make this quarter disappear, you can be like, damn,
Right,
what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean?
right.
So man, I try my best. Even I'm early on, like I said, I try to remember. I listen to, I record my stuff audio, so I listen to it before a show, and I try to memorize it the best I can, man.
I was saying you see a lot of comedians do, and you probably see a lot of different shows and stuff. But a lot of comedians use jokes that they've been using for years.
Hmm.
And you might hear it over and over and over, but there's people that want to hear it. And then sometimes it all depends on the mood that you on when you're doing the show. Do you really want to do the show? So I'm going to do my jokes just to get by, or do I really have material for the show? You know what I'm saying? Or is it lame? Is there a lot of audience? Do I want to waste my energy?
Mm.
So you got 4 or 5 jokes that that get you by, that you get some great laughs, and then you can just mess with the audience and then get off stage.
Hmm.
Some people do that a lot.
But do you feel like, man, especially early on, especially now, I feel like black comedy gets stuck in a box. What I mean by that, they expect us to be super animated. Do you feel like that still? They expect black comedians to be super animated, like a Chris Tucker or a Tony Roberts. Do you feel
So I
like
like
that?
Tony Roberts. I like Tony Roberts. Tony's funny. Oh, one of them hype comics.
Yeah,
Nah, I don't know. Or like a Kevin Hart, because
yeah.
Kevin Hart is animated to me.
I
Like,
feel like some bookers still look for that. They like to have that still, like a super animated.
Well, yeah, some people like that. Some people like that. I don't know. I mean, it works. It
Mm-hmm.
works. But like I say again, it all depends on your audience. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
got to capture an audience that likes that type.
Mm-hmm.
If you get an audience that's not really with an animated comedian, then guess what? That audience is
It's
not
done.
going to really pay attention. Oh, he was all right. I mean, he was all right. All they heard was loudness.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I totally agree with that, man. So you said you got a show to 20 you got shows coming up, man. Can you let the people know what
Yeah, man,
shows
I
and
got a lot of stuff coming up right now. Right now, I'm on my way going back to my hometown, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Going up there
okay.
to the NFL 2025 draft. And you can see the young shirt that I got on here.
Okay.
Yeah, that we actually gonna go up there and sell them. And we got a bunch of different merchandise. We're gonna go up there and have a good time, man. Plus, it's my birthday. Be
Okay.
53. Gonna be at the draft. I'm here, man. So have a tall ball and come home with a bunch of money and then gear up for comedy season for the summer. Because there's a lot of wine festivals going on and a lot of outdoor events. And we are invited to a lot of different ones. So
Why is that, man? I feel like wintertime and the springtime is so slow motion. But when it's that summer come up, bing, 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 bing.
yeah,
Why is it like that?
well, because some people don't want to drive, but to me, I think you do better than wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because summertime, you gotta remember too, what happens in summertime, everybody has vacation time.
Yeah.
Everybody has kids coming home from college. Or,
Mm-hmm.
people want to use their vacation time to go to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
The beach gives 95% of people money anyway.
Yeah. In amusement parks.
Yeah, yeah. And even like a lot of restaurants and things suffer in the summertime as well. Because not too many people going out to eat. Why would I want to go out to eat where I could just sit at home and barbecue and hey, have everybody come over by the house?
Mm-hmm.
But then once September comes around, September kind of picks up here and there. Your Friday nights is kind of suspect in the in the uh in the fall due to the fact that a lot of people have kids playing sports.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Saturdays and Thursdays are good. I never really done a Thursday here. I normally do a Saturday, but Fridays used to be really, really good for me. Um,
I think Thursday is like unless you got a big somebody, man. Thursday is hard to fill it in because you're competing against, especially you doing bars. You're competing with the TV. Monday night football, Thursday night
well, you gotta tell them to
football.
turn that off. You gotta tell them to turn that
Oh
off.
man,
Yeah,
that's why I
you,
like doing bars, man. I don't like doing no bar.
no, man. You just tell them to turn that TV off, man. Respect your art, and that's why you come in there. You when you set up your stage and things, you have it set up to where it looks professional, like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because if you don't look like you know what you're doing, then you're gonna get people talking. People not gonna be respecting the crowd. Hey, people gonna be trying to put the jukebox on. But if it looks like it's something that's supposed to be real, and your flyer looks good, and it looks like this is something I want to listen to and pay attention to, then you'll win the battle.
That's real, man.
But if your flyer looks like looks like a third grader did it,
You
and
done.
you know what I mean, you up there and you trying to tell some jokes, and you got a mic stand, but the mic don't connect to it, and your DJ got all wires all over the place, and it just doesn't look professional, and you charging people money, then they're gonna try to walk all over.
Yeah, man. So when you before we get out of it, man, what was your first? Was you using VFWs in the beginning? What were you using in the beginning to do your shows? What kind of
Ball.
event
I
centers?
would normally do like I did some bars, I did some ballrooms, I did some VFWs, I did quite a few different places. Any place that
Mm-hmm.
allowed me to go in there, but it had to look, what I mean, it had to look to where people that I'm inviting want to come to and spend money.
Mm-hmm.
Because you invite some people there because you invite people to a place you want to at least spend $20-$30. Does the place look like if it looks like and you want your food and your drink prices to be cheap as well, or at least reasonable, Because if I come in, I pay $20 to get in your place, and then next thing you know, I walk to your bar, and then you charge me $15 for a cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, you charge me $8 for a beer. How much money am I going to spend?
Not too much.
I'm not spending anymore. After that, I'm done. But if I'm
That's right.
selling, you get a cheeseburger and fries, for instance, $5, or you get a pound of Pilonese shrimp for like $11, or you get a bucket of beers, which consists of 5 beers for, let's say, $11 or $12. You know what I mean? You got 50-cent wings. You see what I'm saying? Now that person feels the options. Oh, I got $20. I can get me a drink. I can get me some food, and I can tip the bartender.
Yeah, that's facts right there.
You know what I mean? Then I got a couple dollars in my pocket just in case I see a girl I like, I can buy her a shot or something.
That's
Now I
real,
feel
man.
good. You know what I mean? If I get a bucket of beer, got me some food, I can sit here and chill the whole time.
So, before we get out of here, man, how can they reach you? Also, what do you think Green Bay is going to draft a player you like, and we're gonna be out of here, man.
Oh man, well, I'm a Dallas fan. I've been a Dallas fan since 1975.
Oh man,
Yeah, man.
I thought you was a cheesehead, man.
Nah, man, I can't stand the Packers, man. I can't stand the Packers.
God
I'm mad I
damn,
got the shirt on right now too. I'm mad.
God
Man, I'm
dang,
not a
boy,
Packers fan. Not a Packers fan.
Cowboy man.
Man,
Jeez.
I just not. Uh, I just want to be there when they say who we gonna take in the 12th pick. I'm just excited just to be there around all those people. You know what I mean? Just some to put in my bucket list. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And connect with and do a lot of networking. I'm doing a lot of networking there. Got a lot of different restaurants I'm talking to. Matter of fact, I'm actually hosting a comedy event that they're having there too on the 23rd. So that's cool. Just yeah, you can find me at on Facebook, Instagram, under Chad Beadle, or you go to my website is makemelaughcomedy.com, or you can go to Facebook, or I'll give you my phone number. Call me at the office at 240-367-5052. Or just be on the lookout for the Make Me Laugh Comedy Tour, man.
All right. Again, man. I appreciate you coming on, man, because it's hard to find people to talk to me about comedy, man. There's a lot of people want to be Hollywood, and man, I need $800 just for an interview, and I'm like, damn, you
Nah,
know what I
man,
mean?
nah,
Just for
man.
25-minute conversation. But so
Yeah,
again, man, I
yeah.
appreciate you.
You get, and like sometimes like a lot of headliners, you pay them all that money and they don't even come with it.
No.
You ever seen that where you pay a lot, the people pay a lot of headliners all that money, they don't come with it. They don't promote some of your stuff. They don't promote the shows and then
No.
things like that. It's all on you.
Yeah, I've seen it firsthand just going to a show. This
Yeah.
this this person was just using old references like penny candies and stuff like that. I'm like, yo,
Man, I love
where's
penny candy. I love penny candy. I
but
loved it.
that's all the person's jokes was about penny candies about back in the old days. And but you gotta keep it current for the younger crowd that's gonna be at the comedy show.
You're right. You're right. But
You know
penny
what I
candy,
mean?
man. Could you imagine when you was a kid with penny candy? You had $1. You had 100 pieces of candy.
Yeah, I like the Boston beans personally. That was my thing. Boston beans.
Boston baked beans.
Yeah, man. And
Yeah,
some
I hate them damn things. Yeah.
and Mary Jane candies. That was my little joints right there, man.
So Mary Jane. Yeah,
But
$1,000.
also, man. So also, man, the last question, man. Cheese curds or mozzarella sticks, man. Before we get out of here,
You said who?
cheese curds or mozzarella sticks, man.
I guess the mozzarella sticks, man.
God damn! I thought you from Wisconsin.
You
I
said
thought
cheese
you
curds. You like cheese curds, like cheese curls?
curds, curds. Ain't that's like the mozzarella nuggets type things
Oh
y'all
no,
do?
man. I'm from old school, man. We use mozzarella sticks, man. Ain't no goddamn cheese nuggets.
All right,
cheese nuggets. Cheese nuggets. That's you get that with an EBT card.
all right, man. I appreciate you, man. Everybody go check him out, man. Chris, Chad Beadle, man. Check him out, man. Check all his websites out. Get one of them shirts if you can from him, man. And we out of here. Thank you, man.
All right, man. Thank you. Peace, man. Love y'all, everybody. Thank you.